There was a man who commanded the greatest empire the world had ever seen. He had absolute power. He could have anything, do anything, destroy anyone who opposed him. And yet, every single night, he sat alone and wrote reminders to himself about humility, about mortality, about the insignificance of power. Marcus Aurelius didn't conquer because he wanted glory. He ruled because it was his duty. And in the quiet moments between wars and politics, he mastered the only thing that truly mattered: himself. This is not a story about an emperor. This is a lesson about what it means to be in control when everything around you is chaos. Let's begin. Marcus Aurelius was born in Rome in the year 121 AD. His family was influential, but not royal. He was educated by the finest teachers of his time: philosophy, rhetoric, law. He learned Greek, Latin, and the art of clear thinking. From a young age, he was serious, disciplined, and drawn to Stoic philosophy, a school of thought that taught control over emotions, acceptance of fate, and living according to nature and reason. At 17, the Emperor Hadrian noticed him. Later, Emperor Antoninus Pius adopted Marcus and prepared him for leadership. Marcus didn't seek the throne. It came to him. And when Antoninus died in 161 AD, Marcus became emperor, not alone, but alongside his adoptive brother Lucius Verus in a rare co-rule. But here's what most people don't know. Marcus Aurelius did not want to be emperor. He wanted to be a philosopher. He wanted peace and study. Instead, he got war, plague, betrayal, economic crisis, barbarian invasions on nearly every border. His entire reign was one crisis after another. And yet, he never abandoned his principles. While leading armies on the frontier, sleeping in military camps, watching thousands die from disease, he wrote. His personal journal, never meant for publication, became one of the most powerful texts in human history. We call it Meditations. It's a conversation with himself, a reminder of how to stay grounded when the world is falling apart. He ruled for 19 years. He died in 180 AD, likely from plague, on the northern frontier. He never saw the peaceful retirement he might have wanted, but he left something far more valuable than monuments or conquest. He left a blueprint for how to live. Pause. Reflect on this. A man with ultimate power chose to limit himself. A warrior who could destroy chose to build discipline within. That's the paradox we're exploring today. Now, Marcus Aurelius never sat down and wrote 12 rules for life, or gave motivational speeches. His wisdom came from struggle, from journal entries written in the dirt and blood of battlefields, from quiet mornings reminding himself not to become a monster. What follows are the lessons drawn from his life and writings. Not direct quotes unless stated, but principles, timeless, applicable today, right now. Let's go through them. You don't control what happens. You control how you respond. Marcus faced assassination plots, plague outbreaks, the death of children, his co-emperor dying unexpectedly, rebellions. Any of these could have broken him. But in his writings, he constantly returns to one idea: the only thing you truly own is your mind. External events will come: loss, rejection, failure, betrayal. These are inevitable. What's not inevitable is letting them define you. Modern application. Someone disrespects you at work. Your relationship ends. You lose money. You get sick. These things hurt. But ask yourself, what part of this can I actually control? Usually, it's only your reaction, your interpretation, your next move. This is not about suppressing emotion. It's about not letting emotion make decisions for you. Feel the anger. Acknowledge the pain. Then choose your response with clarity. This is power. Real power. Not control over others. Control over yourself. Pause. Reflect on this. Your thoughts shape your reality. Marcus wrote repeatedly, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." This isn't mystical. It's practical. If you spend all day thinking about what you lack, you'll feel poor. If you focus on resentment, you'll become bitter. If you obsess over failure, you'll feel like a failure. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant grows. If you plant doubt, fear, comparison, and victimhood, that's your harvest. If you plant gratitude, purpose, discipline, and growth, that's what you'll reap. Modern application. Pay attention to your internal dialogue. When something bad happens, what's your first thought? This is unfair. I can't handle this. Or do you think, this is a challenge? What can I learn? You're not trying to be fake positive. You're trying to be accurate. Most problems are not as catastrophic as your mind makes them. Most failures are not permanent. Most rejections are redirections. Change the story you tell yourself, and you change your life. This is not easy. Marcus had to remind himself of this daily. So will you. Write it down. Repeat it. Make it a discipline. Death is not the enemy. Wasted life is. Marcus was surrounded by death. Plague killed millions during his reign. He lost multiple children. He knew he could die at any moment. And instead of living in fear, he used mortality as motivation. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is not morbid. It's clarifying. When you realize your time is limited, you stop wasting it on nonsense. You stop arguing about meaningless things. You stop holding grudges. You stop delaying the work that matters. You stop living for other people's approval. Modern application. Imagine today is your last day. What would you regret not doing? Not saying? Not becoming? Now ask yourself, why are you waiting? This doesn't mean quit your job and run away. It means stop living on autopilot. Stop scrolling for hours. Stop complaining without acting. Stop pretending you have forever. You don't. Use that knowledge. Let it push you toward what's real. Toward the people who matter. Toward the work that fulfills you. Toward the person you want to become. Pause. Reflect on this. Discipline is freedom. Marcus had every luxury available. He could have indulged endlessly. But he chose simplicity. He chose routine. He chose discipline. Not because he had to, but because he understood that discipline protects you from chaos. When you lack discipline, you're controlled by impulse, by mood, by circumstance. You eat when you're bored. You quit when things get hard. You react instead of respond. You become a slave to your weaknesses. But when you have discipline, you decide. You choose when to eat, what to consume, how to spend your time, who to engage with. You're not perfect, but you're in control. Modern application. Build small disciplines. Wake up at the same time. Exercise regularly. Eat with intention. Manage your money. Keep your space clean. These seem trivial, but they compound. Every time you do what you said you'd do, even when you don't feel like it, you build trust with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Discipline doesn't make life rigid. It makes life possible. It creates the space for freedom, creativity, and peace. Without it, you're just reacting to whatever comes next. Choose structure. Choose consistency. Choose discipline. People will disappoint you. Don't let it surprise you. Marcus dealt with betrayal. Even his own wife was rumored to conspire against him. His generals were ambitious. His advisors had agendas. People lied, manipulated, and acted selfishly. And yet, he didn't become cynical. He wrote something profound. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. If you expect people to always be fair, honest, and kind, you'll be constantly disappointed. But if you accept that people are flawed, driven by fear and ego, you can respond with patience instead of anger. Modern application. Stop taking things personally. That person who cut you off in traffic isn't targeting you. They're distracted, rushed, or careless. The friend who didn't text back isn't rejecting you. They're overwhelmed. The coworker who took credit isn't evil. They're insecure. This doesn't mean tolerate disrespect. It means understand human nature. Protect yourself. Set boundaries. But don't waste energy being shocked that people act like people. Expect difficulty. Prepare for selfishness. And when someone does show up with integrity, appreciate it deeply. It's rare. It's valuable. It's worth honoring. Pause. Reflect on this. Your reputation is not your priority. Your character is. Marcus could have spent his reign building statues, throwing festivals, gaining public adoration. Many emperors did. But he focused on governing justly, on making hard decisions, on doing what was right, even when it was unpopular. He understood that reputation is what others think of you. Character is who you actually are. Reputation is fragile and temporary. Character is solid and lasting. Modern application. Stop performing for validation. Stop curating a perfect image on social media. Stop changing your values based on who's watching. If you lie when no one's looking, you're not honest, you're just scared of getting caught. If you only work hard when the boss is around, you're not disciplined, you're obedient. If you only help people when it benefits you, you're not kind, you're calculating. Build yourself in private. Do the right thing when no one will know. Keep your word even when breaking it would be easier. That's character. And here's the paradox. When you stop chasing reputation and focus on character, respect follows naturally. People sense authenticity. They feel integrity. You don't need to announce it. Be the person you respect. The rest takes care of itself. Suffering is inevitable. Meaning is optional. Marcus faced unimaginable hardship. War, plague, loss, political chaos. He could have despaired. But he chose to see suffering as part of life. Not a punishment, not unfair, just reality. He asked himself, does what happened keep you from acting with justice, generosity, self-control, sanity, prudence, honesty, humility, straightforwardness? If not, then it's just discomfort. It's not the end. Modern application. You will suffer. Relationships will end. Opportunities will be lost. Health will decline. People will die. These are facts. The question is, will you let suffering destroy you, or will you use it to build something? Some people experience trauma and become bitter. Others experience the same trauma and become compassionate. Same event, different meaning. You decide which. This doesn't mean just be positive. It means find purpose in the pain. Maybe your loss teaches you empathy. Maybe your failure teaches you resilience. Maybe your loneliness teaches you self-reliance. Suffering without meaning is torture. Suffering with meaning is growth. Choose meaning. Simplicity is strength. Despite immense wealth, Marcus lived simply. He didn't need excess. He ate plain food. He wore simple clothes. He slept in military tents. Not because he had to, because complexity distracts from clarity. The more you own, the more you maintain. The more you want, the more you suffer. The more you chase, the less you have. Modern application. Look at your life. How much of what you own do you actually use? How many goals are you chasing that don't align with your values? How many relationships are you maintaining out of obligation rather than connection? Simplify. Cut out the noise. The possessions you don't need. The commitments that drain you. the people who don't respect you, the habits that don't serve you. This isn't about minimalism as an aesthetic. It's about clarity. When you remove what doesn't matter, what does matter becomes obvious. You have limited time, limited energy, limited attention. Spend them on what's essential. Everything else is distraction. Strip away the excess. Find the core. Build from there. Pause. Reflect on this. Anger is a weakness pretending to be strength. Marcus had every reason to be angry. Enemies, traitors, incompetence, injustice. But he saw anger for what it is, a loss of control disguised as power. When you're angry, you're reactive. You say things you regret. You make bad decisions. You give away your peace to whoever provoked you. That's not strength. That's slavery. Modern application. When someone insults you, and you lose your temper, who's in control? Not you. They pressed a button, and you responded predictably. They own you in that moment. Real strength is staying calm when provoked. Responding with clarity instead of rage. Choosing silence when words would only escalate. This doesn't mean suppress your anger. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Understand where it's coming from. But don't act from it. Let it pass. Then respond from reason. The person who can stay centered in chaos is the most dangerous person in the room. Not because they'll explode, but because they won't. They're unpredictable in their calmness. They can't be manipulated. Be that person. Focus on the present moment. Marcus constantly reminded himself. Confine yourself to the present. Not because the past and future don't matter, but because they don't exist right now. The past is memory. The future is imagination. The only thing real is this moment. Modern application. Most anxiety comes from living in the future. What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if it doesn't work out? Most depression comes from living in the past. I should have done this. Why did I say that? If only things were different. But right now, in this exact second, are you okay? Probably yes. You're breathing. You're alive. The crisis you're imagining hasn't happened yet. The mistake you're regretting is over. This moment is all you have. And if you can handle this moment, you can handle the next. And the next. One moment at a time. This is how you survive overwhelming situations. Don't think about the entire mountain. Focus on the next step. Then the next. Eventually, you reach the top. But only by being present for each step. Stop living in your head. Come back to now. This breath. This task. This conversation. This choice. The present is where your power lives. Service is the highest form of leadership. Marcus didn't see his role as emperor as a privilege. He saw it as a burden, a duty. He was there to serve Rome, not the other way around. He could have lived in luxury while his people suffered. But he didn't. He led from the front lines. He shared hardships with his soldiers. He worked constantly, even when exhausted, because that was his responsibility. Modern application. Whether you lead a company, a family, a team, or just yourself, leadership is service. It's not about being obeyed. It's about making others better. A good leader doesn't hoard credit. They give it away. They don't demand respect. They earn it. They don't avoid hard conversations. They initiate them. And even if you don't have a formal leadership role, you can lead your own life with this mindset. Serve your future self by making good decisions now. Serve your relationships by showing up consistently. Serve your community by contributing value. You're not here to take. You're here to give. The more you give with intention, the more fulfilling your life becomes. Stop asking, "What can I get?" Start asking, "What can I contribute?" That shift changes everything. You are enough. Right now. Marcus had every reason to feel inadequate. He wasn't the strongest warrior. He wasn't the most charismatic speaker. He wasn't naturally gifted in politics. But he didn't try to be someone else. He worked with what he had. He reminded himself constantly, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Modern application. You will never be perfect. You will always have flaws. There will always be someone smarter, richer, more attractive, more talented. And none of that matters. You are enough because you are here. You have a mind. You have agency. You have the ability to choose. That's all you need. Stop waiting to become someone else before you start living. Stop thinking, "I'll be happy when I'm successful," or "I'll be confident when I'm fit," or "I'll be worthy when I'm loved." You're worthy now, not because of what you've achieved, but because you exist. The work you do is about growth, not validation. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Start where you are, with what you have, as who you are. That's the only place you can start. Pause. Reflect on this. Marcus Aurelius didn't live a perfect life. He made mistakes. He faced impossible situations. He struggled with doubt, exhaustion, and grief. But he never stopped trying to be better. He never stopped refining himself. And that's the final lesson. Progress, not perfection. You don't need to master everything today. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to show up. Do the work. Make the next right choice. And then do it again tomorrow. The world will throw chaos at you. People will disappoint you. You will fail. You will suffer. That's guaranteed. But you have a choice in how you respond. You can become bitter, reactive, and weak. Or you can become disciplined, intentional, and strong. Marcus chose strength. Not loud, aggressive strength, but quiet, steady, unshakable strength. The kind that doesn't need to announce itself. The kind that speaks through action. The kind that endures. That's available to you. Right now. Not because you're special, but because you're human. And humans have the incredible ability to choose who they become. Choose wisely.